I guess how society sees dark women, like we're basically the losing team. Like, who wants to be on the losing team?
Now, when you feel that way, you have one of two options. Learn to love the skin you're in, or succumb to the beauty standards that are placed upon us as dark-skinned women in bleach your skin. I couldn't believe how easily accessible these skin bleaching creams were. So it led me to want to connect with someone who did skin bleach. So today, we will be speaking with Renee Richards. She was addicted to skin bleaching for 10 years, and she found a way to break the addiction. We are going to get to the bottom of what led her to start and stop skin bleaching. Sit back, relax, and let's get into it. When did you start skin bleaching?
I started when I was 15.
I guess what I'm trying to understand is like, what did you feel about your skin complexion that made lightening so intriguing?
I grew up in a home with my mum and my aunts, and my aunts were all lighter skinned. Like my cousins that I would be with as a child, they were all lighter skinned. When I came to the UK, I was in a school where I was the only black child. So my what I saw was beautiful. I didn't see me or my complexion as beauty. It was just, to me, it was, my skin at the time was dark. It didn't represent at that time beauty.
Okay.
It was like I didn't feel like I could be beautiful and be dark. I didn't marry the two together at that time. So when I had the opportunity, to start bleaching, I just ran with it.
So you say at 15, you began the execution of skin lightening.
Yes.
What were you using to lighten your skin?
So I was using, I think it was about 3 or 4 different products at the time. That I would mix together, let them sit in a little bottle, and then I would just start using it after about 2 to 3 days when it was strong. And yeah, I would start with my face and then continue on with the rest of my body.
Were you using products that were intended for lightening your skin, or were you?
Yeah. Yes. There were products that were intended for lightening. Yeah, there were products that were, on the boxes, it directly said skin bleaching, skin lightening, and skin bleaching. So they were direct products for skin bleaching.
You mentioned that you were an island girl. You're from Jamaica, and so I'm curious to know if skin lightening has a positive connotation or association in Jamaica. Is it something that everyone is doing, or it's commonly done? Because over here in the United States, it's very taboo. Everyone is like, I'm sure people do lighten their skin and use things to lighten their skin, but it's one of those things that you're not broadcasting. It's one of those things that people will shun you for if you are using the lightening cream. So again, back to the question, is it something that's widely accepted in Jamaica?
It's a norm. It's as common as getting a wig or getting a weave, or it is common. In Jamaica, it's either you bleach or you don't bleach. And if you do bleach, it's not frowned upon, it's not looked down upon, it's accepted as one of those things that you either do or you don't do.
How long are you leaving these creams on your body at a time? And how often are you using these creams?
At that time, I would use it like a moisturizer. So in the mornings, I get up, wash my face, do my normal cleansing routine, and my bleaching cream goes on my face. And then I would give it maybe about 3-4 hours, wash my face. Sometimes I'll be doing this at school where I'm washing my face at school after 3 hours at my break. I'm putting back on my cream again. And then that's going right throughout the day until I go to bed. So then I'd have different products that I would use at different times that I thought would help to quicken the lightening process a bit faster. Yeah.
How long did it take for you to start seeing noticeable change in your skin complexion?
Within 2 weeks. Oh, wow. Maybe even sooner than that, because I was using some really, really strong stuff. And as I said, I was mixing things. It wasn't like I was just using one set product. I was mixing a few strong products. Right. So I was seeing results. Maybe about in a week's time, I could really see a difference in my complexion.
Any negative side effects that you are experiencing? Are you feeling burning sensations? Like, what did that process of lightening your skin feel like?
It burns.
Okay.
Your under eyes are a little bit tender and they burn. Your skin peels. You go through a process where your skin is really uneven until you can really get an even consistency. You have, dark patches under your eyes. They'll be red. And then you have little blotches where, you haven't quite rubbed it in a little bit, or the cream hasn't really penetrated in that area.
Did this at any point discourage you or want to lead you to stop?
No, because in my head, I had a goal.
Okay.
I had a goal that I wanted to get to. So in my head, I was not going to stop until I achieved that desired color that I wanted to achieve. So to me, that was going to enjoy the burning sensation, enjoy the skin peeling, enjoy the unevenness until I got to that desired color.
What was the desired skin tone, if you don't mind telling me? Like, is there anybody that you can think of that's maybe famous that has that skin complexion? What was your goal?
It was a black china complexion. I think that's the only person I can now think of. That is where I was heading to. And if I got lighter than that, I would have been happy with that.
Did you ever reach that skin complexion? Your goal complexion?
I got very, very close.
Okay.
I got very, very close. Yeah. When I started to bleach my full body, I was very light, to the point where I would look at my hands and I would see my veins stand up in my body. Like I was very light.
And are you noticing any treatment, like any different treatment from people as a result of the lighter skin?
Yeah, I did. I saw differences in treatment from guys, from even females as well. When I would go to parties, I would get a lot more attention than what I would have got a few months prior.
I'm interested in the attention that you're receiving from both men and women. So like, how were women now treating you in comparison to how they were before when you were darker?
I'm from Jamaica. So the guys and the females that I would associate myself with are, they're all Jamaicans in a dance hall sort of settings. And again, as I said, because skin bleaching isn't really frowned upon, and in somewhat it is glorified to an extent, I found that a little popularity kind of status increased.
Okay.
And I was a little bit more accepted, so to speak, than before.
You're getting this positive affirmations after becoming light. So what was the thing that made you want to pivot and say, you know what, I do not want to bleach my skin anymore?
I got tired of wrapping my skin in plastic and going to bed in plastic and spending all this money. I think what happened, I got to a stage where I wanted a different lifestyle. I wanted a complete different lifestyle from this party dancehall lifestyle. I wanted a little bit more. I wanted to look different. I started to see Black females and they just looked beautiful, and their skin just looked beautiful, and they were just embracing their complexion. And I was like, but hold on, my natural complexion is this. So if they can do it, I can do it as well. So at that point, all these things are married together. I was like, I actually want to stop doing this, but I'm so addicted. Even if I wanted to stop, how do I actually stop?
Since you were so addicted, what broke the addiction?
I moved.
Okay.
I moved from the area that I was to an area that I wasn't seeing anyone from Jamaica. So there was no one from my culture, where I thought that I needed to, I guess, fit into this dance hall culture, so to speak. So I was able to kind of find myself and be myself. And as I said, I was tired of wrapping myself in plastic, and I wanted to save money. I was now thinking about buying a house and buying cars, and there was I'm thinking to myself, the amount of money that I'm spending on this thing, the two ain't going to be able to marry up. I won't be able to do this. So at that point, I was like, God, you know, you've made me a certain way. You see all that I'm trying to do. If you're not happy with what I'm doing, you're going to have to help me to stop. Because if you don't, I'm not going to stop, because I am so addicted to this thing. It's just like smoking, or it's just like drinking. Sometimes you really want to stop, but the addiction is really real.
Like, what did those convictions look like? How was God sending you these signals to get this thing out of your life right now?
For one, he made me uncomfortable with where I was, my surroundings. I started to feel uncomfortable. Going to parties didn't feel the same anymore. My circle of friends didn't feel, nothing felt, everything that was normal to me and that I enjoyed to do at the time didn't feel enjoyable anymore. So I had this desire that I needed to move. And when I spent time to the area that I moved to, I remember thinking about when I had to go back, it was like I didn't want to go back. Right. So I think the desires to everything started from that point. And when I eventually moved and I started seeing Black girls and, you know, everyone really being happy and confident in their skin, I was like, something went off in my head where it's like, I want this too. I want to feel happy with my melanin. I want this. I really want this. So I think all those things was his way of convicting me, of getting me to that place where I can let this thing go and fully let it go as well.
Well, we thank God for that. You know, thank God that he convicted you and you listened and you were obedient, because your skin is radiant. Your skin is beautiful. I'm so happy to see that. Yes, of course. I'm so happy to see another Black woman directly right across from me. You were talking a lot about like how much you were spending on the skin bleaching, right? And you were talking about wrapping yourself in plastic. I hope you don't mind me trying to run back to it. What was the process, right? So you're putting the creams on you, you're wrapping yourself in plastic. Like, run me through a night of using skin bleaching cream.
So I would start by, I had a bar soap that was a skin bleaching bar soap. Okay. And I had a body scrub. So I would first have a shower with the bar soap and then go back over with a scrub. Then from that point, I had a tub with mixture. So it was all different, maybe about three, 4 different creams and a specific gel that I would use. That would be in one tub, and then I'd have the specific gel on its own. So I would go over with the gel in like my elbows, my knuckles, my knees, like, you know, the darker parts of my body, and then go over with my cream and then put a little bit more gel on top and then wrap myself in cling film. Then after I would have wrapped myself in cling film, I would put on like a leggings and some long sleeves top and a hoodie and another legging. So I am pretty much compacting in that mixture that it soaks in my skin. So I would leave that on for the whole entire day. And within 2 days, you would literally see my skin peeling. Like, I could literally peel bits of that top layer off. It was, the dedication was really real. It was crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, I can appreciate you using the word addicted, because I think a lot of people will see or hear that someone is skin bleaching, right? And their instant thought is, or at least over here in the United States, it's like, why would you do that? You shouldn't do that. But to understand that this was something that you took on, you decided to do, and over time it became an addiction. And just like you said, with drinking, with smoking, with any addiction, it's so hard to break. So I think kudos to you for recognizing that it was an addiction and then reaching out to God, because we all know God is the number one source. Like, he gave you life, he can take away addiction. Like, that's the one place that I know to go to if I am struggling with addiction. So again, kudos to you. And again, I do appreciate the words that you decided to use. Yeah, because I could only imagine what that was. I told you as well that growing up as a dark-skinned woman, it is, you know, we do hear, or I did hear, like, a lot of negative insults about my skin color and things like that. I didn't have the access to skin bleaching creams, but I resonated with how you felt. So at what age did you stop skin bleaching?
I stopped when I was about 24, 25. Yeah, I think it was about 25 when I just stopped completely. I wasn't using anything on my face. I wasn't, no little lightening, nothing. It was just, just completely just stopped.
And how long did it take for your skin color to revert back?
Completely, maybe about 4 months completely to go back to its natural complexion.
And did that process like hurt physically at all? Did the regrowing of skin hurt, or like getting your color back? No.
No. Some people, I know some people, they go darker than what they originally were, or you can really see signs of extreme damage on their face. But thank God I didn't have that. I just went back to my original complexion.
If I'm not mistaken, you do have a child, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've got a son. He's 8. Yeah.
What are the steps that you were taking to help ensure that he doesn't fall down this skin bleaching rabbit hole?
I tell him every day his complexion is beautiful. He has gorgeous chocolate skin. He has beautiful curly hair. And I think if I was being told those things growing up as a child, it would have saved me from taking the route that I have done. So even though he's a male, I know in my culture that skin bleaching doesn't just stick with females alone. You have a lot of males in Jamaica who they bleach their skins. As I said, I grew up in a household with cousins, and a lot of them were males who were bleaching their skin as well. So it doesn't just stop with the female. So I make sure that I'm telling them every day that, your skin is beautiful. You have gorgeous skin. Your melanin is popping. You have, radiant chocolate skin. You have beautiful curly hair. Because I think it's important for children who are growing up in communities where they are the minority, that they are hearing these affirmations. So when they're going out and they are mixing with, whiter or lighter children, they don't feel that they're any less to them, or that their ideology of beauty is the true ideology of beauty, that they are beautiful as well.
Right. No, I totally agree with everything that you said. I've always believed that it starts in the home, right? And
Yes.
I didn't grow up around like parents that bleached their skin, but I don't feel like they spent the time to tell me, hey, Constance, you are a beautiful dark-skinned woman. And I think that is super important, especially in a world where we don't have, by God's grace, there is a lot more representation now than there was before. But as you said, it was just so common that you would turn on the TV, you would see light-skinned women, and you'd see light-skinned men, and you'd see them getting the praise over top of us. So it's definitely important to, as you said, pour into the youth, or pour into anybody that you see that has our skin. Do you have any advice for anybody that is actively bleaching, that is trying to stop?
Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself, and love the person that God has created you. When God created you, He made no mistakes when He colored you in that shade of brown that He did. So embrace that complexion. And if you are having problems stopping, I think the first thing that you can do is go onto Instagram, go onto YouTube, go onto TikTok, and find females who look like your original self, and you'll see just how beautiful they are. They're no different from you. That's the advice that I had to give myself to stop.
Right, and it worked. So that's good advice. My last question for you is, we started off asking how 15-year-old Renee felt about her skin at the time. I want to know how you feel about your skin now, your skin complexion.
I love my skin complexion. I love my dark chocolate skin. I embrace it now. And I wish I did before, but you can't go back into the past. So you can just, do now. Now is all you have. But I love my skin. I love my skin so much. I love my complexion. I love your complexion. I think we are beautiful and fearfully and wonderfully made. So yes, I'm all for it.
Renee did a good job of closing it up and just reminding everyone that it does start in the home, and you do need to pour into the youth, but make sure you're pouring into yourself. Make sure you are putting yourself in spaces where you feel represented, where you feel seen, and ultimately, I think it's very important that no matter your skin shade, light skin, dark skin, whatever, I want you to know that you are beautiful. I want you to know that There's nothing wrong with your skin complexion. I want you to know that despite what you see in the media and despite what you hear your family and friends say, God made you so perfectly that there's no need to do anything to alter your physical appearance. You know, you're beautiful, whether you're a guy, whether you're a girl, you are absolutely beautiful and made in God's image. So do not forget that. You know, I could keep on going, but I think that the interview and the conversation did a good job of just summing up why people end up in these situations and how you can pull yourself out. Lastly, most importantly, whenever you find yourself struggling, call on to God, cry on to God, because He's going to get right and get you right. All right, y'all. I love you. I appreciate you. You already know what to do. Make sure you are subscribed to the Constance Annan Show on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed and following the Constance Annan Show on all podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any other place where you can listen to podcasts. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Constance Annan Show. Follow me on TikTok at Constance Annan Show. And y'all know my personal at Black Mocha, BLACKM0CHA. That's on YouTube and Instagram. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And lastly, do not forget to leave me a review and rating after today's show if you're listening on podcast streaming platforms. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I will see you in the next one. Peace. Lightly body lotion. Not White Secret.
She said,
They really did something thinking they doing something. They put the what you call it,
putting
the afro on them.
yeah,
I ain't gonna say
like,
white. She might be just fair skinned.
but I'm just
they
saying,
know how to market.
They know
this
how to
stuff.
market, yeah.
And then it's the White Secret. Like it's a mystery on how to get to that skin complexion.